Greetings and salutations and welcome to another Inventor video. Today it's going to be the first part of a series that I'm going to be going through the actual toolbar. So if we start on 3D model, I'm actually going to start with sketch. It's actually almost a whole toolbar in itself, right up there. So let's start with 2D sketch. Right, so first when you load it, you get your 3 planes, your XY, your YZ, and your XZ plane. And you can select one to do any sketch. You can make others, but we'll just start with those. Right. So you're now in the sketch tab, so you now start with the line command, and this will give you line, splines, equation curves and bridge curves, and all of them give you different options. Like you've got a standard line, point to point, spline, control vertex type, just start doing that. You can start doing curves, going around surfaces, you just click the tick. The control vertex gives you these little points that you drag around to actually modify it. The other type is called interpolation, so if you drag it, instead of dragging the points outside, you have to drag the little squares here and drag them around, and that'll do it. And then you've got equation curves where you can define equations, and bridge curves that join curves together. You got circles where you go first way to define a center point, then circle, job done. The second one also defines a circular tangent, so let us just milk a square. There we go, one square, and let's take a tangent, choose the tangent variety, and just pick 3 sides, and there you go, circle in your square. Not quite square in the circle, but near enough. And then it also gives you ellipse, where you just pick a center point, pick how wide you want it, and there you go. You can start dragging it how much you want to elongate it, etc. Arcs. 3-point arc, so you just select the start, the end, and the actual radius of it. So you could in theory build a semicircle if you wanted to, or you could just join it. Second type, it's called a tangent, which means if you have an already defined line, so let's just take this and okay. Take a tangent, it'll automatically make it so that part has already got a tangent constraint on it, so it'll always be tangent. And it gets pretty wacky. It's also good if you want to make like candy canes, hooks, etc. And then you've also got the center point, which is similar. Right, down to the polygons. Rectangle does what it says on the tin. You then got a 3-point rectangle because you want to define the angle, depth, width, etc. Then got a 2-point center rectangle when you want to make a start and end point and just want to mirror it out a bit. And you got slots, does what it says in the tin. Select 2 points. There you got a slot which makes good cross sections. Also, if you want to put for tooling, Meccano, etc. 3-point arc slots. Boom. Boom. So if you want to make like clips, etc. And last but not least, polygons. Just enter the number of sides. The hexagon does what it says on the tin. Fillets are a bit more of an interesting one. So you just take your shape, and you can just apply fillets to them, and that's just your radius. And you can literally just, if you just select it and press fillet, you fillet your other edges, that edge. Select all your edges and have them all perfectly filleted. Text does what it says on the tin. You got some text, and points are pretty useful later on when you need to start joining stuff in 3D sketches, because you can now just define points and everything snaps to them, which is rather excellent. Project geometry, which is the next feature, and we're just going to drop out of this and we're just going to now define a new XZ plane, except we're going to make it just a bit higher than it. Project geometry allows you to basically copy the geometry, so you want to define new features, so you just click project and you can just click around, it forms these lovely yellow lines, which you can then use to base your other sketches on. Let's back out of that and back into the sketch. Move. You can literally just select it, select where you want to move it around, and it just drags around. Just like it says on the tin. Copy is like if you just want to spawn copies of it, and lots of copies. Boom, 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 boom. There you are, you now got 6 copies of the same thing. Might be useful to you now, maybe not. Not so useful now though. Let's get rid of them. Rotate, select a center point. And you can rotate around, you can also define the angle, or you can precisely input using Cartesian coordinates. Trim is just does what it says on the tin. Extend allows you to extend. If you want to create a split in there, you can actually put a split down the midline. You can then use scale, so you can select that and then select where you want to scale, so select roughly the middle. You can then scale it up and down, and you've then also got offset, which is very similar, but allows you to basically duplicate it into a kind of a similar way if you were to do a circle. So if I just show you, select circle, then select offset. There you go. Now you can enjoy your donut. And there you are, you got like stretch, so you can just select points, which obviously if you'd have multiple points, otherwise it doesn't stretch. And we got patterns. Patterns are always good because it allows you to do stuff really fast. So let's just actually move this out of the way. Use a move. Okay, right, so let's say we select rectangular. Which is actually not so useful unless you actually give it some actual direction. So if we just select that and that, it will come clear in a minute. So just don't get involved. Right, so rectangular direction, you can use that as a direction. Then this is your spacing, so let's just select 3, let's go for 800, and then you can just rotate it around. And let's say you just want like 5 of them, well there's 5 circles. So let's say you just want to choose your second direction this way. Let's say we just go for 800. And let's say you want 5 of them as well, well there you are, 25 circles, pretty damn quickly. The next useful one is circular, where you can just drop a point, click circular, select the geometry, select the axis of rotation, and there you go. All rotated around a single point. And finally, mirror, where you can just select that, then we change to a mirror line. There you are, mirrors. You can use axes in some cases, which make very good mirror lines. Okay, dimensions. These are especially useful. There you are, it's the radius. So now you've got a completely parametric dimension. You can now shape it, you can crease it, which is always useful. You then got auto dimension, so you can just select everything and it'll just give you dimensions. And as we move across, we now actually have the constraints, which is to make sure when everything goes green, when everything's green, it's unconstrained. When it's purple, it's fully constrained, so you can't give it any leeway. So if you see here, as I go right angle, it goes into a perpendicular constraint. But now, so let's go through. So you got coincidence, so if you, let's say it's got like 2 circles, so it's got a circle here, and I give it, if I put a point down, there you are, it's now also special tangent point. Then got concentric, so if I just make a circle there, make it concentric to there, it's now concentric. This is just like an override, so whatever you select, it will lock it regardless of whether it's properly constrained. Not the best habits because it doesn't always show you, doesn't always constrain it in a way that you want to, and also, right, so yeah, we can now remove that. Okay, we get your point. Yeah. Click OK. So then you've got parallel constraints. So if you just define them to go back to sketch. So I just want to make these two parallel. There you go, parallel now, fixed. These are called the parallel to X and Y, so these do it more to there, more to your axes. This has got a tangent one, which is the same. So if I now just do another circle, tangent, tangent, then our tangent. We've also got a symmetric one and an equal plane, so you can actually just make sure they just stay equal, so whatever happens to one happens to the other. And last but not least, you've now got image points and AutoCAD. So if you've got AutoCAD files, you can import them. If you've got images, you can import them. And if you've got Excel points, so you can put points on a spreadsheet and also import those. And finally, last but not least, you've also got the actual sketch types. So this is called a construction sketch, so it doesn't actually interfere with extrusions and when you try to 3D model, but it's useful for when you base constraints around them. Then got centerline, which is better for revolves. I'll go to 3D model. Revolves, coils, certain sweeps, because it'll automatically detect that it's a centerline and start trying to rotate around it, so it's kind of like an axis. This one there's a driven dimension, so this one actually dictates to the other dimensions, I'm the boss. And that is pretty much most of the ones you're going to come across. There are a few that I've missed, partly because they're not always relevant, partly because you won't always come across, but if you need to know, you can always ask in the comment section. I'm Leo, and thank you for listening or watching.